And fortunately, we have News Nation's Brian Enton here to help us sort it all out. He is standing by live outside of Brian Laundrie's house. And Brian, I know you've been there for, gosh, I think it's either 2 or 3 days now, and you've not seen hide nor hair of Brian Laundrie, and he is supposedly in that home. But the police had a press conference there today. Are they calling this a criminal case yet?
They are still not calling this a criminal case, Ashley, and you're right. It is a lot. It's a lot to digest. It's like a puzzle. And the frustrating thing for the police here in Northport is they say the one person they believe could help them figure all this out, Brian Laundrie, still will not talk to them. This is his house behind me. We thought he was in the house. There was activity yesterday, coming and going. The lights were on at night. I'll tell you today, all of that changed. It has been totally quiet. No one has left the house, and tonight it's totally dark.
So, Brian, it's so curious. What's frustrating about this is when someone goes missing, usually police know where to go. They know where to start looking. But at this point, there's Utah to Wyoming that is chronicled. There's also a trip back to Florida that is chronicled. I don't even know if they've been able to start a grid yet. Do you know?
No, it's a massive search area, and here we are in basically tiny Northport. They're leading the investigation, working as hard as they can. Thankfully, they've partnered up with the FBI, and they've got the authorities in Utah and Wyoming also working on this, but it's just a massive, massive area. We know Gabby's stepdad and family members headed out to Wyoming to start searching, but frankly, they don't even know where to begin.
So, Brian, what about this incident, this moment that we just were looking at the police stopping Brian and Gabby? There was a witness that said there was this domestic altercation. Gabby is apoplectic. You just saw the police officer talking to her, but she was also crying through the whole episode. Are they making anything of that here in Northport? Are they suggesting that this might be helpful in the search for Gabby?
Well, they're still just calling this a missing person case, not a criminal investigation. They're keeping the issues somewhat separate. But of course, I mean, this video is really eye-opening to the whole situation. Yesterday, the only videos we had were their YouTube and Instagram videos that made this couple look like they were totally in love and everything was perfect and they were having this incredible journey across the country. Today, the body camera video comes out and it shows that there were some major issues here. You saw Gabby crying, you saw the injuries, and it sort of painted a totally different picture.
Brian Enton standing by for us in Northport outside of Brian Laundrie's home. Thank you for that. I want to pivot for a moment if I can. I'm joined now by 2 members of Gabby's family. Joe Petito is her father, Zoe Wickman is her cousin, and Mary Wickman is Gabby's aunt, and they are seated beside each other. Joe, if I can just start with you, any news, anything from the authorities, anything that might advance this case?
No, I mean, nothing that I have. To be honest, I get the information almost as you guys get it. So, no, I don't have anything new. I got some new frustrations based on a statement that was made. But all that comes second because we don't have Gabby, and, we're still on, job number 1, and that's get Gabby. Right? So, we haven't lost focus of that. And that's something we're still spearheading. We got to get her home safe, and we'll look at all the rest of the stuff when that comes to it, because that stuff was on the 12th, and now we know we had contact with her on the 25th. So that still doesn't help me get to my objective.
And the objective, obviously, is to try to find out anything that might be possible, just in terms of what the last contact her fiance had with her was, and there's just nothing coming from them. To that end, Joe, you and Gabby's mom, combined families now, released a public letter to the Laundrie family, and this is what you wrote. You said, Gabby lived with you for over a year. She was going to be your daughter-in-law. How can you keep her location hidden? Please, if you or your family has any decency left, please tell us where Gabby is located. Tell us if we're even looking in the right place. Joe, the only word that we publicly have heard after that letter came out publicly was Cassie Laundrie, just with that very quick clip that we aired for ABC saying we just wish that she'd come home safely. We loved her too. How did that land with you?
You know, it actually made a lot of sense, and it brings the things to light because, you know, we've been looking for Gabby for how long, and they've known that Brian's been there since the first. So if she was, I mean, that was a very nice, well-written statement, you know, so, but it does explain if that's that family's version of love, to just ignore and not care that someone's gone and people are looking for them and the entire country's looking for them. I mean, that explains how we got to where we are today. Because, I mean, look at their version of what they call love. So, I mean, where was she?
It's just bizarre to see this. I mean, that, you know, just to see no response to this extraordinary letter that you sent out. I want to play one more moment from that body cam video. This is Gabby, visibly upset, saying that she needed to calm down. And you know, it might give some insight as to her state of mind at that time that she had that run-in with the police. Have a look at this.
You want to tell me what's going on?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just some days I have really bad OCD, and
okay.
I was just cleaning and straightening up the back of the van before, and I was apologizing to him and saying, I'm sorry that I'm so mean, because sometimes I have OCD and sometimes I just get really frustrated. Not like mean towards him. I just like, I guess my vibe is like I hear him be like in a bad mood. And I was just saying, I'm sorry if I'm in a bad mood. I've just been really stressed. I had so much work I was doing on my computer this morning.
What do you do for a living?
Well, I used to work at an organic juice bar, but I just quit my job.
Okay.
I was a nutritionist. That was my
That's
job.
cool.
And I just quit my job to travel across the country. And I'm trying to start a blog.
Okay.
Have a blog and stuff. So I've been building my website. So I've just been really stressed, and he doesn't really believe that I could do any of it. So that's kind of been like I don't know. He's like.
Mary and Zoe, I know that the FBI has asked the family not to discuss Brian and Gabby's relationship. I can understand that there may be reasons that are very important for this investigation. But is that the Gabby that you know in that video?
No, I don't know. I've always known Gabby to just be so kind and caring. She really was just a free-spirited minded. She was always happy. She like literally lived in the middle of the desert, and she lived in a tent, and she was still always happy. I've never seen her cry, anything like that.
Stressed out.
Yeah, I've never seen her stressed out like that.